Hey y'all, Bloodwing here, back to bring some grumpiness to your internet. And welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where you get an extra healthy side helping of colored greens with bacon and spices. Oh my gosh, that sounds really good to me right now. Making myself hungry. With me as always is R8 Bear. Say hello, Bear.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're well on this glorious Saturday.
Yeah. Hey, chat. Don't tell him I said this, but you're all going to have to try to help me because Bear's in kind of a bad mood today. Help me make him laugh.
It's not that. I'm just a little bit aggravated.
I'm messing with you, Bear. Come on. And first time in a long time, my buddy Dax O'Ryan. How you doing, Dax?
I'm good.
Oh, geez, right off the bat. Thank you, Cryptic. Hello, my black neck. All right. So how's everybody doing today?
I'll let Dax go first.
It's going. Waiting for the woman to wake up.
Yeah, I can't say much. I slept in. I was up really early this morning, like about 4 o'clock, and I made a post or two on Twitter, but it's only because I woke up with a headache and had to eat me something so I could take some Advils, and then I went right back to bed after and just slept till like 11:30 this morning, shamelessly.
Well, you're allowed a lay-in, mate.
Yeah, once in a while, I guess, since I have to get up at 6:45 every morning during the week to go get the grandkids. Mama Manny, hey, baby.
Yeah, my sister from another mister. What's going on, man?
But yeah. So, Bear, tell us, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm just...
You can let it out, dude. You know that on my stream.
Yeah, I know. I'm just just aggravated. It's been a week with people trying to tell me what to do, what to believe, how to act, how to speak. A lot of accusations made against me, and I'm not a victim. I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that. I've had enough. Well, I'm just a little bit aggravated is all.
There's a really easy solution to that. Step away from Twitter for a day or two, dude. That's what I do.
Just Twitter. It's not just Twitter.
I know, it's your YouTube as well. Turn it off. Turn it all off.
Turn it all off. Turn myself off. Get in bed and watch anime.
There you go.
Yeah.
Netflix and chill for a couple of days, man.
Yeah, I probably should do, to be honest. I wanted to stream this morning. Seen a lot of stuff about Extinction Rebellion popping up. It's a topic that I have wanted to talk about, but I didn't really know how to kind of like put it into a video. There are some topics that I look at and I think, I don't know if I want to make that into a video, but it would make a pretty good live stream. Plus, there was lots of different stuff I wanted to talk about.
Right.
The Extinction Rebellion, crazy nut jobs, the Sargon thing, the UKIP thing, people being booted from Twitter and whatnot. I wanted to talk about all that kind of stuff, and just a couple of people wanting me to address their arguments and stuff. A couple of accusations, and it's really irritating. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. But as I was telling you before stream, that those kind of people aren't known for their massive brain matter. So
yeah, like I've even got somebody over on the video I released to Irate Alex a day or two ago. I can't remember when I released the video. Obviously, the video, it did pertain mostly to what I do and what happened on Twitter. But of course, there's an alt-right person in there arguing with me now, and completely misrepresenting my arguments, making it out that I'm making accusations against them when I'm quite clearly not. Said I sound like Raleigh Dennis. I don't believe calling them racist or saying that they shouldn't be able to have their preferences or whatever.
I'm sorry, but you don't have quite the Adam's apple that.
No, it's just really fucking irritating, especially when they just cannot be honest and represent my argument properly, and they just start making shit up, and then they just take it to that level.
Oh, trust me. Maybe it's because I'm at a different place than you are now. You know, I've been around the internet for a very long time, the early '90s. You know, not too long after it was even a thing. You know, and from day one, even in those days of dial-up, and I'm talking dial-up where you had to take the receiver of your phone and stick it on a device and dial in. Even from the early days, there have been trolls and stupid people.
Yeah, I know. It's just it's just really annoying, you know, because like I took a few things to heart, you know, like the wanting to address criticism, wanting to not reside within an echo chamber, you know, and it's annoying.
Yeah, I get it. You want to have conversation and be true to your morals and all that. I get that. But I think these ones that you've been dealing with today and yesterday is just, you know, hey, okay, I've said my piece. I'm done. See you later. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. You lied. You used cans to communicate. Shh. No, I didn't use cans, but this is true. When I was a kid, my aunt still had one of them old-timey crank telephones up on the wall, and I have used that before. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. You pick it up, put the receiver to your ear, turn the crank on the side. You get the operator, and because there's no dial on it, you have to get the operator to tell them what number you want to connect to. Let's see. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm sorry. I thought I got another donation there because my alert went off. And I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. It just took a minute for it to show up on my screen. I don't know why that was. Thank you, Citron, for the donation. Bear you Downey Ursine C-word. How dare you let someone that makes Mike Stuckberry look like an alpha chag get your panties in a tizzy? You owe no one the right to dictate your content. Don't make me take away your peanut butter.
Dictate.
He said dick.
Who was that from?
Citron.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to bother with these fucking morons anymore.
Yeah, I'd say it's not doing your head any good, and you won't get anywhere with them. You absolutely won't get anywhere because morons like that, there's no getting to them. They don't have the brain capacity to understand valid arguments.
Yeah, as a satanic cultist, I'm not beating myself up. I'm just frustrated with how many people I've come up against this week who just don't want to have the actual conversation and just want that, and are bad actors, you know, and they're really dishonest in how they go about doing what they do, you know.
Yeah. So you're having a Morton Salt week, you know, when it rains it pours.
Yeah. It's fine. Again, I'm not a victim. I'm not looking for fucking sympathy or anything like that. I'm just venting again because it makes me feel better. So
yeah, absolutely. And you're more than welcome to. You know that's I'm here for you to vent to, dude.
I know.
In other words, in other news, so to speak, if you notice the title, Say It Isn't Snow, that's a reference to, believe it or not, we've got a snowstorm moving across the United States.
It's nearly May.
Yeah.
We're a few days away from May.
Yeah. It's supposed to come. Now, it's not supposed to affect where I live, but it will get as close as Chicago. And Chicago is about a 3-hour drive from where I live. So not far. Yeah. Imagine that.
I read better. The worst was stop claiming we use guilt by association, but you're a racist because guilt by association. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Of course, Mr. Dax, I am referring a little bit to that, of course, when I talk about it. But today I kind of had it with a couple of people who are alt-right, and it's annoying. It's really irritating, you know? Yeah. I'm just going to start looking for news.
Mama Minnie says it's surprised to hit her. It's supposed to hit surprise. It's supposed to hit her though. Yeah. Well, it's what you get for being up there in Michigan now. Daggum it. But yeah, there's that snow, and it's almost May. Also, Trump was here in my town yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Absolutely was. He came to speak at the NRA convention that was being held here downtown. So I was hoping to catch sight of Air Force One and the fighter escorts, but I didn't. I did hear them. In fact, they also had a helicopter escort as well. I heard them go over. But by the time my slow old butt got outside, they were long gone. Yeah.
I think I'm going to look for a couple of things on Sargon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Also, I know most of you don't care, but I do, and this is my stream. I can talk about what I want to. I've been really wrapped up in watching the NFL draft because that's this weekend. In fact, I think it ends today.
Yeah.
I know not all of you American, but if you don't know what the draft is, it's where the NFL teams, based on what their record was last year, you know, the teams with the worst record get the best picks. But the NFL teams go through and pick out of a field of what's considered to be the best of the best out of college and draft them to their team. So been interested in that. A former Colts player, Pat McAfee, who those of you that know him know he's a real card. He's went on to be a stand-up comedian and even announces pro wrestling on the WWE. Come out on stage during the draft and really pulled a good one. I mean, he was killing me. He was killing me. It was you probably don't care, Bear, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Like I said, it's my stream. I don't care.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll sit here and smoke.
It was held in Nashville, and we know Nashville has their own team, the Titans, and the Titans are in my town team, the Colts, in their division, and we're rivals. And they haven't beaten us in a very long time. Even when we suck, they haven't beaten us. And as is usual, it's held in a different place every year, the draft is, but whatever city it's held in, usually when a team is announcing their draft that is a rival of that town, you get a lot of boos. So Pat McAfee used to be our punter, and he's quite a character. He's really, he used to get fined by our GM at the time. That's the reason he retired in his 20s. He got fined left and right because he was always pulling stuff out on the field and tweeting things that they didn't quite like. But
yeah,
he come out, he got a lot of boos. He says, you know, I was going to talk about the record between the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts, but I'm not going to do that. He goes, and I know I'm a punter, you know, and so forth. But since we don't punt very often against you guys, you probably don't know who I am.
Bobby, I'm surprised you haven't tried to bring back the foosball streams.
I'm still looking at it for this coming season.
Yeah,
which is coming on us fast. But I want it. I want it to be. I want it to involve my son, J Kid. It's just not the same without J Kid.
No, I agree. Yeah.
So you know, when I want it to be when he can do it with me. Anyway, if you haven't seen that and you're interested, it is on Twitter. Go look up that clip on Twitter. It is hilarious. I mean, the crowd is just booing it, and he's ripping them left and right. And he's just supposed to be out there to announce what their pick was. But it was pretty funny, I thought.
Trucking Bear doing good on my way home. I'm going to be going to the drive-in tonight. Cool. Endgame, baby. Yeah, I'm gonna have. I will watch it. I will watch it. I don't know when, but I will.
I don't know if you've seen my tweet or not about how.
Oh, about dodging the spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because folks, I'm poor. I can't afford to go to the indoor theater and pay tons of money for concessions and whatnot to watch a movie. I'll have to wait till it comes out on DVD or Netflix or something. You know, so I try to avoid it. And what I've taken to doing is if I'm a speed reader, or I'm capable of speed reading. I learned to do that in high school. And if my eyes even catch the phrase in game, I scroll really fast. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Functional says to Obendai, I pretty much have very opposite views to Bloodwayne, but we've become good enough. Online friends, I've had some interesting discussions with both left and right. It exists. Yeah, I'm glad you think so, Functional. Yeah, I'm open to talk to anybody. I can talk to anybody regardless of what your political views are, or your social views, or or your NFL views. If you hate the Colts or don't care about, I don't care. I'm willing to talk to anybody as long as you give me the common respect of a human being, and I'll return it. If you can't manage to do that, then I've got nothing to say.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly it. You had this freaking guy, one or two of them, in my chat today, baiting me into talking about, the typical kind of things that you'd hear from the alt-right: race realism, IQ, Holocaust denial, all that kind of shit. And it's like, mate, I did all this before. I made videos talking about these topics, and I did it. And I even made a video at the request of somebody who described themselves as alt-right, and they did not proceed to treat me like a human being in that comment section.
Yeah.
It was a complete fucking shit show is what happened. They were just horrible, racist bastards to me. And you know what? At that point, I was like, no, you know what? No, not anymore. Not bothering with this argument or talking about these topics. I've done it.
Life's too short to have pointless arguments. It's exactly why I will not debate my faith online, on Twitter, or even talk about it on YouTube. Or I've had people try to, and I said, nope, won't do that.
Yeah. They tried to change my mind. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I tried to change their mind. It didn't work. And it got really nasty. And it was like, you know what? Nah, not bothering anymore. Not doing it. I decided to take their arguments head on. I had a crack at it. Nothing really came of it. Nothing good came of it. So I just walk away from it. And now I do what I do. And you can say to me that, oh, Bear, you only go after low hanging fruit, and you just do this, and you just do that. Well, do you know what? We're YouTubers, and we're fucking YouTubers, guys. What we do here isn't important in the grand scheme of things. We're not politicians. We're not lobbying for policy. It's not important at the end of the day. When our channels die, you'll all forget about us, and you'll forget about the things we said, and you'll get on with your lives.
Yeah. Exactly. Not to change the subject, but to go back just a little bit, Mama Minnie. Oh, good grief! Come on! Right at this second, I get a butt ton of alerts that come in that block the chat. Says, Dad, I have rewards for the theater down there. I can cash in for you. I can't use them. We might have to talk about that later. Maybe your brother and I can go watch it. I'm sure he would enjoy that. But yeah, I mean, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it,
Mm-hmm. Debate me, bro. Shut up. Yeah, I just need to learn to just not bother.
Yeah, I get you, and especially when it comes to your YouTube channel, that's important to you. You know, Bear says that it's not really important and it's not long lasting, but to us, it's important. You know, or we wouldn't do it.
Mm.
You know, so yeah, it's a little hard not to take it personal sometimes. I totally get that. But at the end of the day, you know they're not going to convince you. You know you're not going to convince them. Why put yourself through it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think I'm going to focus a little bit more on Irate Alex going ahead, really. I still make videos for IB, obviously, but I would prefer to make way more content for Irate Alex and have a bit more of a laugh.
Yeah. Of course, the moment when I knew that I had finally made it is when Christy Winters and Ginger Pubes ended up commenting in one of my comment sections.
Oh, I forgot what they said. What did they say?
Oh, it was, oh my gosh, it was like the 4th or 5th video I ever done. And they commented like a year later on it. But it was one I done on Rollins. And of course, he was denying everything that I said. And she was under the impression I was talking about recently. Oh, Rollins couldn't have done this. He couldn't have done that. He's been on a cruise ship. I said, Christy, this was a year ago. Look at the date on the video.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, I must have made it. The Brain Trust found me.
They call us reactionaries. There was a little bit of a debate that I jumped in on with Simius of Thebes yesterday. He's in the chat there somewhere. Is he still here? I've not seen him post in the chat for about 10 minutes or so. He got into a debate with that social equality guy. I can't remember the guy's freaking name. He follows me on Twitter. I think he's like a progressive type or whatever. And there was a big argument. There he is. Simius is there. So Simius was arguing, and I jumped in. And there was an argument about the term reactionary. It's like, are we not all reactionaries by the definition of the word? You know, because social equalizer, that's the one. By the definition of the word, because we all kind of use social media and we all kind of react and have knee-jerk reactions to a lot of stuff, you know, and then maybe the creators among us will initially have that reactionary reaction and then make a video where they research it. But of course they came back with the definition that I wasn't aware of, and I was like, so that I said that sounds a lot like you're describing a conservative right there. So by that definition, when they're calling you a reactionary, what they're actually doing is calling you a conservative or anti-SJW type.
Those dirty right-wingers.
And I was like, well, that's a slur, really. You know, it's not a descriptor.
I've seen a thing today on Twitter, and somebody that was on my timeline that has very left-leaning views was talking about Dr. Randermer and some recent stuff that's been tweeted out, and he says, well, I'm not really surprised because that whole Honey Badger crew has been showing that they're very right-leaning. And I was so tempted to come in there and say, oh God, you know, they're dirty right-wingers, they all gotta die.
Are they though?
No.
I was about to say,
are you kidding? It just proves how left this person is, that he thinks the Honey Badgers are right wingers.
Because I've only seen a little bit of the stuff, right? I think I've watched maybe 20 minutes of their live streams. I personally don't find them that entertaining. I like what they do.
I never have either. I mean, like, you know, if you do, good on you, but I don't.
Yep, I like what they do. I think it's an honorable thing to focus on an actual issue, which of course is men's rights, men's activism. You know, I know Tilde sometimes weighs in. I've even been on a stream with Karen, who I had a nice conversation with, and you know, told her I thought the work she'd done quite good. But at the same time, like, are they really right wing? Just
No.
Or are they just looking at the MRA label and just putting it alongside the right wing label? You know.
Yeah, they're not. Also, I see a lot of stuff in the chat trying to get Dax to talk. Dax is depressed, and he's
I've never
brooding.
talked to the honey badger people, but I tend to agree with you on most of the stuff. Yeah. Although Karen seems really, really nice.
Yeah,
she is nice.
He's been quiet up to now because he's depressed and kind of feeling sorry for himself because he's out of Skittles.
I am out of Skittles, and I'm slightly depressed at that. However,
emergency resupply of Skittles now.
I am looking forward to one thing, though, because the woman hasn't woken up yet, and my dad went and ran and grabbed a cake because I was going to have one delivered today. But apparently, the company that was going to do the delivery either doesn't respond anymore or they shut down their system or something because I haven't been able to get a hold of them. So I had Dad do a cake run this morning. So I'm looking forward to some carrot cake.
Ooh, I like carrot cake.
Yep.
I even like the carrot cake they gave us in school. You know, if you could even call that real carrot cake, but I liked it.
I've just tweeted out #airdrop Skittles to Dax. If everybody wants to just go and agree with that, I'll put the link to that in the chat there.
He wants his Skittles, and I want chocolate. I want some chocolate. I have no chocolate in the house. Craving some chocolate.
Oh, I get that. It makes me sound like a pregnant woman, but I sometimes get massive cravings for chocolate, and then it's like the day before I do my big weekly shop, and I start raiding the cupboards. You know, it's midnight. I'm like chocolate, and there's nothing in there, and I'm like, no.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Hey, the birthday girl. What was it, Karen, who took Metica on, or was it the other one?
I don't remember. Like I said, I've not paid that much attention to them. I am certainly aware of who they are, and I've listened to some of their stuff. It just
how are they doing as a channel these days?
I don't know.
The honey badgers, because when I last looked, and this may have been quite some time ago, they were doing at least very well with patrons. Oh wow, their views are really down. Oh wow, that's pretty bad, man. What? 2,500 views, 1,500 views, just under 4K, not even 1,500 views, not shy of 5,000 there. Oh wow, they're not doing particularly good overall. Looking at their video, let me look on Social Blade to get a better reading of how a channel's doing from Social Blade.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just amazed that they even make them like right wing. I mean, I haven't watched that much of their stuff, but I guarantee you they're not right wing.
Oh wow, their Social Blade's not looking good. There's a lot of red in there. Daily average is -2, 82 subs lost over the last 30 days, which isn't too bad, I guess, but yeah, they're not doing as well as they once were.
Well, for somebody their size, that wouldn't hurt them. Now, somebody my size, 82 subs is going to be a big hit.
Yeah.
Speaking of, please like and share the stream because you know YouTube's not going to. And if you want to go a little further and help an old man out monetarily, and you can, please don't give me money if you don't have it. Pay your bills. There is Super Chat, and there are links for my Streamlabs as well as Patreon in the description.
You know, taking on Metica is a bad idea.
Yeah, because there's really no way to win in that situation.
Well, he's a fucking expert when it comes to this kind of shit, and he's amazing at trolling people to death. And like, I like him. I think his content is really good, especially the some of his older stuff. That guy with the glasses. I can't even remember the series. I might have to rewatch it again. I know he's not for everybody. That's fair enough. I do like his content. I think some of it is hilarious. I don't watch his streams because usually I'm doing something when he's streaming. But he's an American. He streams super late for me, I guess, a lot of the time. I can't remember what the fight was with the honey badgers and Metica was, but
I don't either.
it wasn't a good look for the Honey Badgers. I know that they didn't come away from that looking good at all.
Yeah, when I say that I don't think there's no way to win, it's not that I don't think that I could beat Jim in a debate. I believe I could, if I cared about whatever I was talking about. But his fan base is what you wouldn't win against, because in their mind he's still going to have won, even if you beat him. It's just not a situation I'd want to get myself in.
Did you ever listen to his debate with Destiny?
Just snippets.
That was surreal, man, because apparently Metica didn't know who Destiny was. And this was back in the day when Destiny was taking on basically anybody. And somebody passed Jim the link, and he just kind of clicked on it. Metica just clicked on the link and just went in there. And just started talking to Destiny, and Destiny was like, "Who are you?" It's like, "Oh, I'm Jim. I go by Mr. Metica on YouTube. Who are you?" No, they didn't know who each other were. And for the first maybe 3/4 of it, they were just having a fairly decent discussion, and then it started getting a little bit heated and stuff. And every single time since then, man, every time Destiny gets on a stream with Jim just tears him apart. And it's hilarious.
And by the way, folks, I know you've never seen me in action, because I've never really got into a debate, unless you want to call that situation with Markov a debate, but it really wasn't. It was just me chewing him up, spitting him out. But I'm very apt at it. I was actually on the debate team in school. I know what I'm doing. If it's something I care about. If I don't care, I'm just going to be like Monkey is most of the time when he's got in those situations, and just be insulting.
I think Monkey may have been the only person I've ever actually debated on YouTube properly on a live stream.
Yeah. But,
and we go at it, guys. We are not nice to each other. But I don't like being like that anyway. I don't like being like that.
I think there's a place for internet debates. They're not for me personally. I mean, I wouldn't want to do any. I wouldn't set up any. It's just because I just don't care, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't think internet debates are quite productive.
They're not.
At least in my experience watching them, and hell, even that time where I modded for Misa going up against that weird chick from the Neo commentary community.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't particularly productive in the end, really. And I think they're entertaining. I think they're really entertaining.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much as far as they go for me. I don't think anybody ever concedes to anything.
No, at the end of it, when they're done, everybody's exactly where they were before. The people involved in the debate hasn't changed their mind generally in anything I've ever seen. Their fan bases haven't changed their mind. It's just, yes, it's entertainment, but where does it get anyone?
Well, they're usually very profitable for whoever's hosting the stream.
Well, yeah, there's that. But I mean, as far as where does it get them as far as changing ideas and provoking thought? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any actually internet debates where anybody has conceded to a point and changed their mind. I don't know about the chat. I can't speak for the chat in those situations. Because there's a lot of people who lurk during those kind of things, and the chat goes by so fast, especially for some of them, man. Because
God,
yeah, there's no way that I could, keep track of that many people. Take the Sargon versus Richard Spencer debate. That was how many people were watching that?
Mm-hmm.
Was it 15,000 people more?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Couldn't even see the chat. Was just a blur.
Well, yeah, even yesterday, Neebs Gaming had another premiere, and I kept watching the chat for you or anybody else I
missed
knew.
it.
And it was going by so fast, I just gave up.
I missed that. I've noticed that YouTube will hide actually some of Neebs Gaming's content from me.
Huh.
Especially on my phone. Like that one that you and me watched where we're both in the chat.
Yeah.
It wasn't in my sub feed.
Huh.
I had to go to their channel and find it that way. Which was really annoying. It was very much annoying. Thanks,
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah. Don't you love it when they do that?
Your mobile app sucks.
Anyway, you're going to have to talk to chat and to Dax here for a minute because I'm going to go early. I've got to go.
Oh, okay.
What's going on?
I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, God damn it.
40 minutes in. If you said 37 minutes, you win a pie.
Yeah. Normally I wouldn't go this early, but yeah, it's hit
Every
me like
time.
a ton of bricks here. So I'll be back.
Roger that. Did you wish the birthday girl happy birthday from me?
Uh-huh.
Good.
She said thanks.
Good.
And then she gave me a chocolate Reese's egg.
She gave you an egg?
A chocolate Reese's egg.
But why did she give you it? It's not your birthday.
I don't know. She came in with the chocolate egg, said that you guys were talking about chocolate, and she wanted to make you jealous.
Oh, well, it's not making me jealous.
Well, good.
I actually
let her win.
I want a drink, actually, more than anything else. I'll get one when the old man gets back. Jim shows up to a stream, view account exposed. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Jim's just garnered the right kind of audience, man. I mean, not only does he do incredibly well with video views, but the second he starts live streaming, it's just amazing. You know, I don't think I've ever seen another YouTuber get the numbers that he does just on his own for live streams. You know, I mean, you got Sargon of Akkad, who's not far away from 1 million subscribers, and he'll get 4,000, 5,000, maybe 7,000, 8,000 people watching him. When Jim does it, it's 20,000 plus. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and the man has YouTube figured out, I guess. He's entertaining, and people love him for that. You know, what kind of pie? It's luck of the draw.
Pie flavored.
Yeah, it's pie flavored pie. If Bear wants chocolate, he'll just lick himself. Well, it's more of a caramel taste with me. More of a caramel taste. So, other than the stream this morning, Dax, what else you been up to today?
Nothing. I woke up early and just practically just sat there and just watched a bunch of Naruto.
Well, I suppose at least you're watching anime. You could have been making a video.
Could have, but Naruto.
That's fair. I think whilst he's away having a dump, I'll pull up this article that I just seen Sargon share.
Wasn't having a dump. I was draining the radiator.
Draining the radiator.
That's right.
Bleeding the radiator. Actually, but there was an article that Sargon shared on Twitter, and he put, "Never forget." And I think it's worth kind of going back a year to kind of acknowledge again.
Before we get to that, and we will, before we get to that, I want to announce that if you didn't get the correct time, hang in there, because since I went this early, there's a pretty good chance that this will be a pit stop stream. So
get your bets in for the second go, guys.
All right, Bear, what you got?
It's an article shared by Sargon, and it's pretty much a dig at the UK's Labour Party. And it's an article from a year ago, and Sargon put #never forget. And Nick Griffin declares his support for Jeremy Corbyn. If you don't know who Nick Griffin is, he is the former leader of the British National Party. And the BNP are, just to let you know, they are openly far-right fascists, like it says it on their website. It's not me using a buzzword. That's their own description.
Hi, Green Thunder, and welcome to the stream. Go on, Bear.
And obviously, I don't want to do that guilt by association BS. But it's kind of odd that a far-right leader, like a genuine far-right leader, would support Jeremy Corbyn, who is a Marxist and the head of the left-leaning party of the United Kingdom. And I just want to kind of go through it again.
Okay.
The former leader of the BNP, British National Party, self-declared lifelong white rights fighter and all-round grotesque has been Nick Griffin, has found a new political project to funnel his bile into the Labour Party. In a tweet, he has threatened to vote Labour for the first time in his life because somewhere along our bizarre political spectrum, Jeremy Corbyn's reticence about condemning the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad for a chemical attack killing dozens of his own people has chimed with Griffin's own worldview. If he sticks to his guns, then for the first time in my life, I will vote Labour, Griffin tweeted. Right now, nothing is more important than resisting the psychotic rush to World War III of Boris and the neocons. Ah, dearie me. Well, it's you know, again, this is an argument that I brought up, and obviously I think it's a bit silly to be that surprised when two people on the opposite ends of the political spectrum kind of agree on something. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens, you know. And this is the point that I try to get to. There are certain things that I agree with on the alt-right on, and there are certain things they agree with me on. It's almost as if some issues transcend political policy. You know,
it's why I've always take great pains to say that yes, I am absolutely conservative, but I'm not a Republican because you know I have ideas that agrees with the other side every once in a while. It happens.
Yeah, it does happen. Yeah, it does happen. And it's probably also because of the large amount of anti-Semitism in the Labour Party as well. I imagine that's probably one of the reasons. I think, what's that white supremacist website called?
Oh, I think
Daily
I know
Stormer or whatever.
Daily Stormer. Yeah, they came out in support of Jeremy Corbyn not that long ago, didn't they? Oh God, yeah, exactly. Hikira. It's almost as if the world is grey and everything isn't black and white. Weird. I know, right? I know.
Yep.
I wish that the people giving me shit over the last week would fucking realize that, but
yeah, you know, and not to get us off track, but you know, in my last job, I was the cashier in a limousine company, and what that meant that my office was connected to the dispatcher's office, and I worked directly with the dispatchers. And it actually had a window between our two offices so we could speak back and forth. And Saturdays were a very slow day. They just always were. Everything was already set up ahead of time. You're not probably going to make too many new reservations on Saturdays and so forth. So we'd have a lot of time to talk. And on Saturdays, this lady would come in. It was the only day that she worked. She would come in and try to help out dispatch because for them it was a busy day. For me, it was slow. And I've told this before. She was as left as you could get. In fact, her favorite photograph was one where she was being hugged by Obama. And we would have the biggest conversations back and forth through that window on Saturdays. But you know what? We never got mad. We never got angry. I actually miss her a lot. We just had a really good time. And we certainly didn't agree all the time in our conversations. We just, instead of getting all butt hurt and so forth, we just conversated.
Well, good. So it should be.
Converse.
Do what?
It's converse, not conversated.
I said conversated on purpose because I'm a redneck. I make my own English language. Thank you very much. And we get dead air. Come on, that was funny. That was supposed to get a chuckle.
Sorry,
you, Dax.
I'll be back in a second.
Okay. What's the matter with you, Dax?
I don't like bad English.
You don't like that English.
Bad English.
I don't like your English. How about them apples?
Fine, I'll just yell at you in Spanish.
You just as well, because I won't understand a word of it. Only Spanish I know is Yo quiero Taco Bell. Functional says he's chuckling on the inside. Well, at least there's that. Yeah, please.
Yeah, please clap. You ever have those days where you wake up and then you're still not awake 7 hours later?
All the time. All the time. With my current schedule, because I have to get up very early in the mornings, 6:45 in the mornings to go pick up my 2 granddaughters all the way on the other side of town and take them to school and come back. By that time, my wife, who works overnights, is in bed, so I don't want to get in the bed and possibly disturb her, right? She needs to get her sleep for work that night. And I will sit here in my chair and just be in a daze, drift off constantly. Something you should know about, because there's at least twice that you fell asleep on us on Discord back in the day. When are you going to get your schedule all worked out, dude?
It's pretty consistent these days.
Is it? I don't even know what time you work now.
Would it be most of the time? It's it did change recently, so I guess it hasn't been super consistent. But it was 3 to 11 Central. Now it's like 4 to midnight Central. Whenever we get out, really. So a consistent start time at least.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Still all over the place, but now it's getting more focused.
Well, good. Glad to hear it. I kind of miss the old days when me, you, and Bear just hung out in Discord and jaw jacked for hours upon hours.
Yeah, it's just hard to get that all together these days.
I hear you. It is for me too, especially, like I said, I got to get up very early, which means I generally go to bed at a decent hour. Now, for me, decent hour means if I'm in bed by midnight, I'm good.
I still go to sleep around 7 a.m.
Yeah. I remember for many, many years, I worked, for at least 8 years at FedEx, I worked the overnight shift. And that was tough. That was tough. I was raising small children at the time, so that was even tougher. Slept in shifts. Are you back yet, Bear? Apparently
what
not.
he's doing.
Apparently not. I wanted to go on with his article. I didn't mean to interrupt him. I thought what I had to say had to do with what he was saying, but how you doing, chat? Let's waste a little time with that. I don't want any dead air. And as far as I knew, he was still in the middle of his article.
He disappeared.
Yeah. Everybody out there doing pretty good, I hope. Probably watching anime, all that freaking Japanese crap. I don't get it. Good on you guys if you do, but I don't get it.
Anime is awesome.
Give me good old American cartoons. American. Hey, Joyce, how's it going? Dead air belongs to that other stream. Yeah. You left a present on my lawn.
Gross.
Well, you're going to have to wait until I get up enough energy to go outside and check. Because, I haven't been outside in a couple of days. Well, except for yesterday when I tried to go outside to see if I could catch sight of Air Force One and its escorts. Because I'm fascinated with military aircraft. Always have been. Bloodwing, name one. Name one what? You got me at a disadvantage. I'm not sure what we're talking about. What are we naming?
I'm back.
Okay, you talk about American animation.
That's all right. Good. Welcome back, Bear. Welcome back. I'm just berating the chat because they like that stupid Japanese cartoon stuff.
It's not stupid.
Oh, anime.
Yeah.
Love anime.
Yeah, I do have to agree that there aren't any good American cartoons these days. There are very few, not like when I was younger. Anyway, you were saying, Bear, I think you left in the middle. Did you finish that article?
I didn't finish it, but there was no
Yeah.
point. There was no point in doing that.
Oh, well, okay. I waited to see if there was more.
This motherfucker on Irate Alex.
Still going at you?
Oh my god, they're so dumb. They're reading what I'm saying and then coming to their own conclusions. Like saying, like I'm being compared to Roddy Dennis, right? At no point did I say that you couldn't have preferences for in-group, out-group. I just said if you want to have that manner of thinking, then you crack on. I never said it was racist. I never said it was bigoted to do so. I said just get on with it, you know. But I'll read the comment to you. Then you and I both understand that Riley has the argument if you wouldn't date a trans, it's bigoted. Yes, I understand that. It's also not comparable. Your argument, if you don't want people of other races in your life, it's bigoted. Didn't say that. Nor do I think it's achievable. Yet you will not change your opinion on any other races but whites wanting that. I never said that.
Well, maybe you didn't say it, but I'll say it. I will. I'll say it. If you don't want people of other races in your life, then yeah, you're bigoted. Now, if you're okay with that, then hey, I guess we're all good. Personally, my only preference is that they're human and intelligent.
This person is fucking... I didn't say that. I didn't say that it's okay for black people to have an ethno-state or Asians to have an ethno-state. I just said that a white ethno-state in America or the UK cannot be achieved without violence. Which there is no other way, right? It just wouldn't happen. It would turn into a freaking race war. Yeah, you will not change your opinion on any of the races, but whites wanting that. I don't think I've argued, may have made many arguments against black identitarians for wanting that kind of shit. I don't want an ethno-state, but I do think you're being inconsistent. No, it's just you not being able to read. You'll accept, you spelled that wrong, retard. Ethno-states until it's white people wanting one. Didn't say that again. I just said that, you know, if you want one, you will get it, but only with violence. But just before this message, I accused them of straw manning me, which is exactly what they did. I'm not trying to straw man anything. You're just annoyed you can't be consistent on this one issue. Yeah. I can't be consistent. You should fucking read, you utter spastic. Fucking hell, it's not hard.
Tell us how you really feel.
The alt-right are not sending the best at this point. I know what you have done. I have watched plenty of your stuff. It's not an argument that because you have made videos about him, you can't be wrong like him. Okay. But I wasn't making that fucking argument, was I, you fucking retard?
I think you're making friends today.
Oh, it's so fucking dumb.
Let me clue you in, folks. Making the argument, well, you know, they do it, so why can't I do it, is not an argument.
Exactly.
It's not an argument. You know, just because another group of people do what you want to do doesn't make it right.
And of course, they make the argument about in-group, out-group, which is red birds fly with red birds, blue birds fly with blue birds. It's natural for in-group preference. Well, it may be in America, but it's not here.
I don't know. I've looked out on the telephone wires and the power lines, and I've seen all different kinds of birds of all different sorts roosting together.
What, just a completely garbage attempt at a gotcha.
Yeah, it's just they're just stupid. They're just stupid. And my advice would be just cut your losses and say, okay, I'm done. Argue all you want, because you're just gonna go round and round in a circle.
Yeah, at this fucking point. I mean, I'll just quickly read to you what I responded with, because sure. I think it's important for context purposes if it comes up. No, I can't find it now. Just give me a second. There we go. Where's my big ass comment? Do you know what? I can't find it now. Fuck it, just leave it. If you want to go see this conversation, they're called A What. It's on my most recent video on Irate Alex. If you want to see, if you read it and you think I'm being inconsistent, tell me. Whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Dax brings up, was it the U.S. called a melting pot? Yeah, exactly. My only requirements, as I said earlier, for me to associate with you is that you're human and that you've got at least a modicum of intelligence.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
At least a little bit, that's it. I don't care what color you are. And yeah, I know the left is going to scream, oh, he's colorblind. Oh my gosh, that's so disgraceful to black people because you're not seeing their plight then. Oh, screw you. You know what I meant. It means I don't judge somebody on the color of their skin. I don't care. Oh. But yeah. Both sides of the whole race argument is just incredibly stupid. And what I mean by both sides is the far right and the far left. It's stupid.
Leave your identity politics at home, kids.
Yeah. I mean, whether or not you believe in horseshoe theory, that's one of the biggest examples of there might be horseshoe theory. Because the far left and the far right, they're just alike on the race issue. They're just pointing out different groups that they want to be separated.
Yeah. Again, this is why I lose my fucking mind.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but it's so 2016, Bear. It's so 2016.
Oh,
We've
God,
moved
I
past
hate that.
Oh,
I made that argument, by the way, and he didn't respond, so I'm surprised he didn't. It wasn't in direct response to him, but it was in the same thread, and I know that he saw it, and I'm surprised that he didn't bite. It's almost as if issues can be ongoing for several years, maybe even decades.
Folks, what makes you think that a certain idea, or whether good or bad or idea, has a shelf life, that it only lasts for a year? And the second that it turns to a new year, we've moved on.
Mm-hmm.
What gives you that idea?
I definitely agree with Kyler, who brings up that he grew up in a small town, almost completely white. People still found ways to hate each other.
Yeah,
because that's the thing as well.
What's the old phrase? Haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
No, it's that when it comes to the white ethno state argument, what's the right white?
Exactly. Look, the neighborhood I grew up in and still live in, by the way. When I was young, was completely white. As a matter of fact, it was so white that when the first black family tried to move in, within a week, somebody torched their car and they moved out. Yeah, it was that bad.
Mm.
Yeah, I've told the story. I don't know if I've told it on this stream or not, but if I have, I'll tell it again. When I was about 18 years old, I seen a black man walking through the neighborhood with a little kid with him, little black kid. At that time, they had built some apartments across the road, the road that was considered the boundary line for our neighborhood, that were what we call Section 8. What you call, what is it again? You call them council?
Well, council, estate housing, or social housing, whatever.
Yeah, sort of thing. And that's where he was living. Apparently he hadn't lived there very long, didn't know that he shouldn't have come over here. And they were walking. And I noticed that there was a group of white teenagers following him. He hadn't noticed them yet. I pull up in my car. I said, "Where you going, dude?" He says, "Oh, I'm just going down here to the store." I said, "Well, hop in, I'll take you." He says, "No, I'd rather walk." I said, "No, you don't get it. Hop in, I'll take you." "No, I'm okay." I said, "Look, you see that group of kids over there? They're not here to give you the fruit basket for the welcome wagon. Hop in the car. I'll take you where you're going, and I'll take you back home." But do me and you and that little kid a favor. Next time, walk around the other way. Don't come through here. That's the kind of neighborhood I'm from. I can't tell you how old I was by the first time I seen a black man on other than the TV. I have no idea.
Mm.
You know. And having said all that, we were constantly fighting each other. Constantly fighting each other. I mean, knock down, drag out, pull out guns and knives and try to kill each other fights here in this neighborhood.
Mm.
So, yeah. It's not the utopia you think it is.
Yeah. Whatever. Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I grabbed some articles anyway.
Yeah.
And guys, do us a favor, drop a like on the live stream if you haven't already. And please share it around. I'd really appreciate it, guys. And of course, most of you obviously know who Sargon of Akkad is, otherwise known as Carl Benjamin. And most of you know that he's been running for office, specifically the European Union elections, which are happening next month, where if elected, Sargon will become a member of the European Parliament, an MEP. And he's running in the southwest part of England for this prestige position that we shouldn't even be having elections for in the first place. Now, as you know, Sargon has been interviewed by the news. I think it was Sky News who interviewed him on the TV.
Uh-huh.
And he also got into it a little bit with some of the legacy media at the UKIP conference, and obviously he's been arguing with the hit piece writers on Twitter and stuff like that. I'm sure most of you are aware of that. But of course, Sky News and Russia Today and what is that? What, the JC? I know it's a Jewish publication, but not sure what it stands for. Anyway, so we'll start off with the Sky News one, if that's all right with you, mate.
Absolutely.
Carl Benjamin, UKIP anger as candidate's Twitter suspended after racist video emerges. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of this, both Sargon of Akkad and Tommy Robinson's Twitter, Jewish Chronicle, is that him, Mr. Dex? Probably is. Both Sargon of Akkad and Tommy Robinson both had their Twitter accounts deleted.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, I'm fairly sure this was brigading rather than Twitter themselves. I saw a couple of screenshots of people going mad and quote tweeting like screenshots, tweeting at Twitter support and stuff. So I don't know whether it was Twitter's actions or whether it was an act of brigading, but either way, they both lost their Twitter accounts, and these were the official Twitter accounts for their positions as MEP candidates. So yeah, Carl Benjamin, UKIP anger as candidates Twitter suspended after racist video emerges. UKIP accuses the social media platform of electoral interference after Benjamin's account is frozen. Now, the video that was going around is a video that I have actually made a response video to that will be coming out probably tomorrow. If not, it'll be coming out Monday. Just waiting for it to be reviewed by the monetization bots. Probably get refused. It was a video hit piece, and it was a compilation of some of Sargon's spiciest moments on the platform. Certainly some very spicy moments. Even one I hadn't actually seen.
Oh yeah.
And of course, it was completely taken out of context. The first one was the argument with the alt-right on live stream. You're just acting like an N-word, mate. And you have a super chat.
Yeah, thank you, Truck and Bear, for the donation. No comment though, at least not on my screen.
No comment. Mm-hmm. Of course, yeah. The first one was when he got into it with the alt-right. The second one was an out of context thing about his comments on Jewish people. And he said a lot of nice things about the Jews, Bloodwing and Dax. He said a lot of nice things. He said that they were intelligent, they work hard, and they're doing very well. They just need to get rid of the identity politics. And I don't think that was too bad, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I think that the last bit of the video was when he did a response video to a couple of PSAs that were basically telling you that there are certain words that you can't say, like it's never okay to say the N word, or there was like this mother who was sat with their kid. It looked like something from Barcroft TV, where they were comparing the R word to the N word, and such. There was like another piece or something, and it was all completely taken out of context. All of it was completely taken out of context, but that doesn't matter, though, does it? It doesn't matter, and he's obviously been hammered the life out of with all the hit pieces, all the hit pieces ever since.
Truck and Bear says the YT premium ones won't allow comments. I didn't know that, but
The hell is a YT premium?
What I don't have?
Retards EVL one, retard. Basically, I think we spoke about this, didn't we? On Thursday, where they wanted to change the word disabled to something else.
Oh,
You changed disabled to, and you even left a comment on the stream.
Yes, I did.
What it was. And you thought I didn't see it, didn't you?
Well, I didn't think you'd bother, but
I forget now what the phrase was, but yeah, they did, and I said, "Screw you, I'm crippled." Yeah.
Oh, it didn't give me the notification that you replied to me.
No, I didn't. No, on the stream I said that.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. I meant to.
It wasn't the exact same thing, but it's the same people making the same argument, basically. Access inclusion or whatever it is. I can't remember what the lady in Sargon's response video said, but it was something along those lines. Yeah, access inclusion seeker or something like that. Access seeking individual. There we go. But anyway, I'll continue reading. Carl Benjamin, a UKIP candidate who used racist and offensive language in a social media video, has had his Twitter account suspended. Warning, this article contains racist and offensive language. So the internet then. Thanks for that. It is not clear why the account has been taken down, but it's not clear. Behave yourself, Sky. But it comes a day after Sky News revealed Mr. Benjamin had posted a video in 2015 where he called a disabled person a retard and an Asian person a chink. He actually addressed this in the interview. It's quite funny.
Yeah, and this is exactly why I've said I don't want to run for public office, because I've done both those and worse.
Yeah. UKIP tweeted, official UKIP MEP campaign account at Carl UKIP, of which Carl Benjamin has no access to, has been suspended from Twitter. This is election interference, and UKIP will get to the bottom of this. Well, unless you go to like Twitter's official office, I don't think you're going to get very far. Later, the party tweeted to Twitter's co-founder and chief executive Jack Dorsey, saying, "This is a gross display of electoral interference." At Jack, why is your company interfering in UK elections? Now, during my stream this morning, I asked everyone the question whether they thought that this was election interference, because it's a Twitter account.
Yeah,
I personally think that it is electoral interference.
I don't see how you could see it any other way, really. I mean, considering what type of accounts they were, because it's my understanding that they had, neither one of them had access to those accounts. They were campaign accounts that they had no access to.
Well, I don't know about Tommy, because although Tommy is an advisor, I don't think he's running as a UKIP candidate for the MEP elections.
Right.
I'm fairly sure he's running as an independent. So I don't know whether he personally had access to his, but I know that Sargon didn't have access to his.
Yeah.
Of course, the arguments against this would be, it's a private company. It's still not stopping him from campaigning using other methods, like using old school methods and stuff like that. But I think Twitter is it's the public square. It's where a lot of the conversation happens. And I think that it is electoral interference.
Yeah. Legally, there's probably nothing that we could get to stick to Twitter over it. I mean, it's kind of a gray area. But morally, yeah, it's pretty shady stuff because good and well. I mean, come on. We talked about the promoted tweets that we all get our timeline all the time, right? The ones that are promoted and paid for. And the vast majority of them that I see that are political in nature are left leaning. So we know they're not going to do that to the left.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally see this as interference.
Yeah, I really don't see how you could look at it any other way and say that it's not. Whether or not we can do anything about it, that's the question.
Well, I don't think anything could be done.
Yeah,
I don't think anything could be done. Twitter's an American company. We have no right to the American legal system. I know Twitter has offices in London, so I don't know whether that's like that counts or what, but I don't know, man. Some of the chat will probably have an idea of how it can be resolved. Official UKIP MEP campaign account at Carl UKIP, of which Carl Benjamin has no access to, has been suspended from Twitter. This is election interference, and UKIP will get to the bottom of this at Twitter support. And that was the tweet that UKIP sent out. Mr. Benjamin, who describes himself as a free speech extremist, is standing at the Southwest candidate for UKIP in the EU elections. The video was originally an anti-discrimination campaign, but Mr. Benjamin did his own commentary over the top. Excuse me. It features a group of people criticizing the use of offensive terms. An Asian woman, for example, says it is not acceptable to call people chink. But Mr. Benjamin replies, "You lose. It's actually fine. It's actually just faggot. It's actually just fucking fine. And I'll tell you why, because Asians are privileged." There were also anti-Semitic pictures posted over an image of a Jewish man who asked people not to use the word kike. And of course, that was his response video to this PSA. And it is shown in the BuzzFeed video hit piece. And you can go watch it if you want, guys. It is on Twitter. So if you want to get an idea. Mr. Benjamin has also recently been criticized for tweeting that he wouldn't even rape Labour MP Jess Phillips. Regarding the video, Mr. Benjamin had told Sky News, "Personally, I find racist jokes funny." When asked if it was okay to joke about rape with regards to the comment about Miss Phillips, he replied, "Yes." Mr. Benjamin also said, "I'll tell you what, they can go and have a cry, and when they've collected themselves and they're ready to talk like an adult about the issues and not bring up things that they think might be offensive and spread them around the country to people who might be offended by them, then we can have a sensible conversation about the issue." And I don't know if either of you watched his interview with Sky News.
I've seen a small snippet of it.
What Sargon did is he actually hid a phone or whatever, a recording device of some sort in his bag, and then recorded the entire thing, 42 minutes. But apparently the 7 minutes edited final interview wasn't really taken out of context or a hatchet job, just like they did to Avi Yemeni. Apparently. The 7 minute video is obviously probably a bit better to watch, but if you want to watch the 42-minute video, just in case you want to check context, fair enough. I encourage you to do so. But it was very funny. It was very, very funny.
And this is exactly, as I said, why I wouldn't want to run for political office. And when we talked about the other day, a couple of streams ago, about Carl going for political office, I'm like, I'm not sure that's a good idea, because there's an awful lot of stuff that people can pull up, because he's been on YouTube a long time. And he said a lot of things.
Yeah, he has.
And I'm not sure that it's a good idea for some YouTube personalities to run for political office, because all that stuff's going to come back to haunt you, folks. And even though it might not stick, it's still a stumbling block. It still gives people reason to say, but this, but that.
Butthole.
Yeah. Butthole.
It's just been brought to my attention something that the House of Commons has just asked of the British public. I know it's very British centric, so I do apologize if you wanted to get into any American news.
Yeah.
But they're asking a question, and the question is, would you consent to the police scanning your face in a crowd to check you're not a criminal?
Huh.
Depends on what the crowd is there for. If it's just a random crowd, yeah.
I'm assuming this would be kind of like CCTV technology or something. That would just be it would be retrofitted into CCTV cameras. I'm assuming it's that.
Yeah.
But it could also actually be police officers with scanners walking around scanning people.
Yeah, if we're just talking about rando crowds, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure that I'm necessarily opposed to it, but I'm not necessarily for it. Now, if we're talking about crowds at like a political gathering or something like that, I absolutely could see the need for something like that.
I'm not sure I find the difference. I mean, if they're already looking at you through cameras and they're like, "Oh, I recognize that guy now. I have a good idea where he is," and then go.
They have a thing explaining it. There have been significant advances in facial recognition and biometric technology in recent years. Darren Jones, MP, argues that there is not enough clarity in the law as to how this information is used by the state and shared between government departments. He is holding a debate in Westminster Hall on Wednesday, 1st May at 2:30 p.m. to address these issues and will be pressing a government minister for answers. To prepare for this debate, he wants to know, would you consent to the police scanning your face in a crowd to check you're not a criminal? Do the advances in this sector make you feel more or less secure? Are you concerned about how this technology could be used by the state? Yes, but that last one in particular, yeah. He will use your responses to prepare for this speech and might quote you during the debate. Oh, I might be tempted to reply to this then. Your name and information of your opinions provided will be shared with... Okay.
Yeah, so my concern would be how far do they go, Yeah. And in all honesty, and you guys know, I'm not one for conspiracy theories. I think they're hilarious. I think they're stupid. Most conspiracy theories. But I'm not so sure that here in the States that they're not already doing such a thing. Quietly, just to keep an eye on everybody. In all honesty, how far does it go before it's Big Brother watching?
I mean, the UK is pretty much already like that. I don't know whether you ever saw the Fast and Furious one where they were in London. I think it was the 5th one.
Yeah.
And they brought up the point that, London is like the most watched city on the planet. There are that many CCTV cameras. And we're big on that here. We're big on that here in the UK, I tell you now. And yeah, we're absolutely right to question how the information would be passed around.
Yeah, and that for all those people, okay, so maybe let's say in a crowd of people, they find one person that's a wanted criminal. Okay. Well, to get there, they had to scan all those other people who aren't.
Yeah, but are they just like cycling through like faces until they see something, and if not, then it's just like, okay, move on?
I don't know. That's what would concern me, is how are they using this behind the scenes that we're not hearing about? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if they're not tracking, like, say for instance, I was perfectly fine, but a friend of mine apparently had some warrants I didn't know about, and we're walking around, and now all of a sudden they're tracking essentially where I've been because they're scanning everybody at the same time, and they happen to find him. Yeah, granted he's a criminal or whatever, but now they know my habits, where I'm going, what I'm eating, that sort of thing,
Yeah, and it's that kind of slippery slope that concerns me. I mean, I'm all for technology that will help put wanted criminals behind bars, of course. But at the same time, you have to protect the innocent people's rights, to privacy and so forth. So, yeah, not sure how I feel about that.
If they're doing like the original, like I said, if they're just scanning faces and it's all they've done, just scan, it's not recording like where they were and stuff like that. If they're just scanning for faces, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I don't know. But if you think that they're not already watching, I see the comments, Circus Zero and so forth. Yeah, I'm not surprised. If you think that they're not already watching you, at least here in the States, you're kidding yourselves. And no, that's not a conspiracy theory because I'm not that kind of person. I laugh at most of them and say, you're stupid. You're a moron. But that's one area that they're probably already doing it.
Yeah, probably.
But I don't know. Was that the end of the article, Bear?
Yeah, it pretty much was. I'm actually just replying now. I want my voice heard on this.
Well, there you go.
I'm going to compare it to the Chinese social credit system.
I hate that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to read one here that has to do, like I said, Trump was just here in town. And of course, everything that Trump says is hung on every word by the left. And of course, while he was here, he said some things that they decided they wanted to focus on. So let's see if I can get rid of all these pop-up. God, I hate pop-ups.
Unless it's pop-up video.
Yeah. Trump praises Robert E. Lee as great general, doubles down on very fine people comment amid pushback from Biden. And that very fine people was Charlottesville, if you'll recall. President Trump doubled down Friday on his infamous claim that there were fine people on both sides of the deadly Charlottesville protests in 2017, arguing the comment was perfect because Robert E. Lee was a great general. Trump made the Confederacy embracing defense one day after Joe Biden launched his 2020 campaign with a sharp rebuke of the president's post-Charlottesville statements, which critics say equated neo-Nazis and white supremacists with those who oppose their hateful ideologies. I'm going to stop there for a second. They're already misleading you. Trump did not embrace the Confederacy. He said that Robert E. Lee was a great general. And historically, he's not wrong.
Oh, don't let history get in the way of feelings.
It doesn't matter what side he fought on. The question was whether he was a great general or not. And he was.
And speaking of people who are overrated as all hell, George Washington was a shitty general.
Yeah.
And that's been proven. But hey, he was on the right side, right?
And to be honest with you, and yeah, it's been said before, but it's all true. Lee was not for slavery. He actually despised it. He set all his wife's slaves free after he moved into her home. He was actually offered the top general side by Lincoln, but he decided to go the other side. Why? Not because of slavery, because it was a slave right. It was a states' rights issue with him, and he decided to defend his state. I've always said that you must judge historical figures by the time they lived in. And at that period in the United States, state rights were much higher thought of and were much more important to people than they are today. Their loyalties tended to go along those lines of state rights. Meanwhile, I've got a couple of donations while I was reading that. And okay, thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. He was a great general and was against the war. He was. He really didn't like it. But he done what he saw to be his duty. Thank you, Vomit GGP Sausage. Smash the like button. Absolutely. And as far as Trump's comments, if they'd read the whole clip, he was saying that there was good people. He also said that there were terrible people. His point was you can't equate everybody that was there with white supremacists because they weren't all white supremacists. That was his point.
Point. There's no point. He's just he's evil.
Yeah. If you look at what I said, you will see that the question was answered perfectly, Trump told reporters outside the White House. I was talking about people that went because they felt very strongly about the monument to Robert E. Lee, a great general, whether you like it or not. To this day, it remains unclear which fine people Trump spoke of. No, it doesn't.
It's not unclear at all.
It was the people that were not white supremacists, which absolutely were there. Considering most attendance at the August 12th, 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, were adherents of racist and white supremacist groups. No, they were not. They were just the loudest. The event was organized to protest the removal of a statue of Lee, who, as a Confederate general, fought the Union in the Civil War to preserve the right of enslaving African American people. He did not fight the war to ensure that. It's because he believed in the right of his own state to decide their own destiny. My head's going to explode.
It's good that you're getting angry and I'm not.
Oh, this stuff always aggravates me. But the Charlottesville protest quickly escalated into violence as far-right demonstrators wielding weapons. Never mind the left that were wielding weapons. Did you forget that part? And decked out in tactical gear, took to the streets of the sleepy college town, carrying torches and raising their right arms in Nazi salutes while chanting, "Jews will not replace us," and blood and soil. Yes, that absolutely happened, but they were a very small contingent of the people that were there. A 32-year-old counter-protester was killed in the chaos when the neo-Nazi plowed his sports car into a crowd. Yeah, we're all aware of that.
Tragic as it was. I mean, we're not denying it happened.
It was in the wake of that tragedy that Trump maintained there were very fine people on both sides. You have some very bad people in that group, Trump said at the time of the far-right protesters, speaking from his namesake skyscraper in Midtown Manhattan. And that's what you're forgetting here. You actually mentioned that, and you're still missing it. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. The president stressed that the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists should be condemned totally. So what is the problem with what he said?
It's that he said it.
But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay, he added. And he's not wrong. Trump has never specified who those fine people were, prompting Democrats to accuse him of implicitly endorsing violent racism. Biden joined that Democratic chorus on Thursday. In that moment, I knew the threat to this nation was unlike any I had ever seen in my lifetime, the former vice president said in a video announcing his 2020 bid. I wrote at that time that we're in a battle for the soul of this nation. Well, that's even more true today. And Creepy Joe, if you're going to base your campaign against Trump, you haven't learned anything and you will lose again. Let's base it on what the issues are. Jesus. Other Democrats questioned the veracity of Trump's latest defense of Lee. General Lee fought for slavery. He didn't. Hawaii Senator Brian Schatz tweeted, and against America. I don't know. Let me flip back over here and see what chat's saying. Let's see if their head is exploding as much as mine are. Now I get it. Not everybody's going to be the historical nerd that I am. And they're not going to see the little nuances to history and so forth. But dadgummit, you cannot doubt it. And not only Lee, in fact, it is a wonder that the North did not lose that. And if it had come to a head and ended earlier, the South might have won it. Because it is an absolute fact that the majority of the greatest generals in the nation joined the Confederate side at the outbreak of the war. We were at an immediate disadvantage. The only advantage we had were numbers. Cryptic says, I blame you, old man. Well, might as well. I'm a boomer. We get all the blame. You know,
sorry, I'm really annoyed about my government.
You're annoyed at your government. I'm annoyed at the non-history reading individuals out there. And so we're just both annoyed.
I'm okay.
That Dax is good.
Yeah. Well, he's annoyed that he doesn't have Skittles.
You son of a bitch. Now I'm annoyed.
Yeah, see?
Can't just let me have a good time.
Just can't let it go. Gotta keep picking at that scab, poking and poking.
I was happy.
Woohoo. But yeah. So, yeah, Charlottesville again. Did you have anything else, Bear, or are you still? I mean, I can find something else, I'm sure, here. I just got to scroll through.
Do you think, am I right am I right by comparing this, or at least like making the argument that it's a slippery slope to the Chinese social credit system? I'll read how I replied, right?
Okay.
I'll read how I replied to this shit. Let me just get it back up real quick. All right, come on. Let me see the replies. There we go. There's me. No, not comfortable with this. This is a blatant infringement on our privacy and human rights. I'm not convinced that our government could be trusted to not abuse the information gathered. If you want this, we may as well have the Chinese social credit system. How far will this go? Are you going to use this technology to check people's naughty behavior online? Will they set off an alarm if they're in debt or owe rent or council tax money? If it wasn't bad enough that we have extremely vague hate speech laws and not freedom of speech protected in this country, you want to add technology that adds everyone's face to a database. We already have too big of a government in this country. You have too much control already. No, I'm against this. Now, does anybody disagree with me on that one? Because I'd like to, seriously, like if you think I can make a better argument, I really would like to hear it. Because he said that my words might be heard in Parliament. So if there's any more that can be added, I'd be more than happy to listen to you.
Seems succinct.
Hakira agrees with me. Mr. Dax doesn't disagree. All right, then.
No, I don't disagree. And I have to, I told you this might be a 2-pit stop stream, and it is. So I'll be right back.
Longer than I expected. I'll be fair on that one.
There are too many things upsetting me this week. God damn it! I need a friggin' break from this shit. I'll tell you. Mr. Dax, it's easier to give power to the government than to take it away from it once it has it. Yeah, exactly. And the British government is already big ass government.
Mm-hmm.
We have cabinet ministers for everything in this country. Everything. That covers every facet of society. We even have a women's and equality minister in this freaking country. And I am being very serious, Dax. You can Google it if you like.
I believe you. It's just gross.
You may recall the video where Jess Phillips laughed at, I believe it was David Davis, over the topic of having a men's issue minister or a special meeting just for that. You ever watch that video?
Oh, that does sound familiar.
Yeah, in that video, the women's and equality minister is mentioned. So, guys, like, if you don't believe me, seriously, go look for yourself, guys. We just have massive government in this country, and I that's not right. That's not right. And I don't think enough people in this country realize just how damaging that is and how costly that is to not only our freedoms, but the budget that we have anyway. The Ministry of Fancy Walks. We're that British. We have a minister of top hats. And we have a minister of tea and crumpets. And I'm fairly sure that's 2 separate ministers. Mrs. Alex, I bet she laughed at the idea that men's issues were brought up in Parliament. Yeah, it was the idea that there would be a dedicated session for it because men can bring it up whenever they want. Apparently, well, no, they can't. I'm afraid. Yes, during Prime Minister's questions, you could ask a question of the Prime Minister, but that's not a dedicated session. Prime Minister's questions is a very, very broad thing. Issues ranging across the entirety of the spectrum that are raised in the House of Commons are asked during Prime Minister's questions. It's not a dedicated thing, whereas there are dedicated things to women. There are dedicated things to BAME. And William throws $2, Minister of Bad Teeth.
Thank you, William.
Yeah.
Oh, good grief. Now my Streamlabs has glitched out.
I just give it a wee refresh, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I'll have to reopen the alert window too because it also crashed out. Dadgummit. I don't know if it's Google or my computer or something in between, but it's aggravating me. Okay. No, looks like I didn't miss anything and we're good. All right. So what I miss?
I was just talking shit about my government.
Well, that's a favorite pastime, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I got to do it now before I get arrested, guys, because those cameras, man.
You're going to be on the stream, hear the door bust in, and the PC police are going to drag Bear off.
I just had a genuine scary thought, Bloodwing. What if I go outside? I mean, that's a scary thought in itself, to be honest with you. But
what is that big orange ball in the sky?
Why does it burn?
I must pray to it. But no, imagine if I go outside and I get scanned by this thing, right? And then it goes to a database which cross-references it with my YouTube channel. And it's like, hate speech!
Yep,
racist!
There you go, yeah. That's one of the reasons we should not like it, yeah. Because, yeah, they absolutely could. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to make a cross-reference program. I shouldn't think. But, those who make TV cynical. No. Those who make TV a microwave will be sent to the gulag. No, absolutely not. Now, I don't drink much tea, but I have been known to make it in the microwave. Ugh. I'm an American. I do not have the patience to wait for the kettle to boil.
If you make tea or anything water-based in the microwave that isn't noodles or something that isn't tea, then you will go to prison. I'm afraid.
Mr. Dax says the kettle is faster. I somehow doubt that because I can heat a cup of coffee or tea or even soup or whatever in my microwave in 60 seconds. So I really doubt that it's faster.
You and Monkey have betrayed me. Look, if that's how you do it, I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to blunt all your knives because that's what British people do, apparently.
Yeah. Well, good luck getting the one out of my pocket. Sometimes there's cereal, like cream of wheat and cocoa wheats and stuff like that. I eat oatmeal every morning for breakfast. It's part of my low cholesterol diet.
Hey, if you want to make a bowl of Weetabix and warm up the milk in the microwave, that's cool, man. That's fine. I wouldn't expect you to put milk in a kettle. You know what I mean? Or even put it on the stove. I would expect you to microwave it because it's just a lot faster than warming the milk.
Thank you, Jaeger Phony, for the very generous donation. Take my money, you bastard. Well, I will do that. Even though you call me a bastard, I'll take your money. I'll take any money's money. I'm not proud.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are.
Well, I am proud, but you know, I don't care. You could be as the biggest lefty Antifa whatever, but if you want to give me money, I'll take it.
Well, what about heating the water with the coffee maker? That's fine. I don't like coffee anyway, so
My wife actually drinks a lot of tea
Mm.
because she's tried to wean herself off the coffee, and she makes it in the coffee maker. You know, and it just takes some tea bags and throw it in where you would put the coffee, and there you go.
whatever. I'm not genuinely bothered. Like, if you want to make your tea in a microwave, whatever, I don't care. Like, I just like arguing it for fun with a monkey.
Yeah, and that's all it is on my point.
Mm.
I'm not joking, though. I mean, I use the microwave. That's what it's there for. And in 60 seconds, I can have the water just as hot, or the coffee or tea, as you can in your kettle, which is going to take longer. So, yeah, I'm American. I don't have the patience to just sit around and wait.
That's fair enough.
You know, I was thinking about that. I was watching some. You never know, folks. Those of us that do this kind of content, most of us don't watch much content in this genre. We watch other things because we get our fill of it in making what we make.
Yeah.
So I watched some stuff you might not suspect, and I was watching some YouTube videos yesterday. Talking about the greatest inventions of the 70s. And then there was another, the greatest inventions of the 80s, and yada, yada, yada. But when they were doing the 50s, one of the inventions was the TV dinner. And I remember when I was a kid, the TV dinner actually took 45 minutes to make because you had to stick it in the oven.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look how far we've become and how impatient we've become.
Yeah.
When back then 45 minutes was considered a time saver.
Yeah, because a lot of like microwavable meals now, like they can be done in about 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Depending on what they are.
Now, if it takes more than 5 minutes, it's too long. This is too long, dadgummit.
10 minutes? You're joking me. You're having a laugh, mate.
Amazing. No, you guys would really, I see the comments out there. You guys would really probably not guess some of the things that I watch on YouTube when I watch. I watch a lot of music reaction videos. In fact, Bear and I have always kicked around, and I'm still keeping it as an idea. I've kicked around the idea of him and I doing one. If you don't know what the music reaction is, it's usually primarily it's black people, but not all, but reacting to classic rock that they've never heard of.
You racist bastard.
Well, it primarily is. Now, you're not going to find classic rock that I've never heard because that was my era. And one of the reasons I've never invited Dax to do it, because he's pretty knowledgeable on it too, for a young guy. But, you know, Bear hasn't heard them all. So I thought we could do a video of me watching him as he reacts.
We will do that eventually. We will.
We just got to figure out all the ins and outs of doing something like that, because, you know, he's all the way over there in the UK and I'm all the way over here in the Midwest of America. And, you know, got to figure out a way to do it at the same time and record it.
Yeah.
Still an idea that I have in my head. The Stargazer nut. Yeah. It cooks better in the oven. It does. I remember the old TV dinners that were in the aluminum trays with the aluminum foil on top of it that my mom used to pop in on. We only got them on Sundays because, you know, we'd go to church and come home and mom didn't feel like cooking after, you know, spending the morning at church or whatever. And she'd throw in them TV dinner. We actually thought of it as a treat. We loved it because the fried chicken in those early TV dinners was awesome. Freaking awesome. Nowadays, I find them a little less flavorful.
Yeah, they're the old. Well, I'm not sure whether they're comparable or not, but comparing them to old ones, there's not a lot in them these days.
No, they're very small. Even the ones that says that they're adult size, the what do they call them? The
Hungry man.
The hungry man size. I'd have to
Mm.
eat 2 or 3 of them to even feel like I eat anything. What are you talking about, hungry man? What is your hungry man? Is he a midget? Because this ain't cutting it.
Tiny man.
Oh, cynical Lindsay, I remember Shake and Bake. It's Shake and Bake, and I helped. And it was actually very tasty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my mom, 6 days out of the week, would cook homemade meals. But on Sunday, she would make TV dinners, because she, moms deserve a day break every once in a while, too.
Mm-hmm. Agree?
Yeah, they can work outside instead of in the kitchen.
Yeah. My mom done a lot of outside work. She worked the garden. Yeah, banquet fried chicken was the best. It was good stuff back then, man. Yeah, I still make shake and bake as well, Lindsay. The original recipe of that is very tasty. I like it, and it's easy. You just put it in a bag, shake it around, put it on a pan with some aluminum foil, and dump it in the oven. You're done. But anyway, how did we get off on this? I don't care. I'm enjoying it, but
Fuck knows.
It's not our normal topic of discussion now, is it?
No, it's not. It's fine as well,
Yeah, and that's the thing about this stream. You never know what you're going to get. I guess in that way, it's kind of like a box of chocolates.
There you go. Redneck Radio is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Herpes.
But it's usually a dirty coffee flavored chocolate that nobody likes.
Oh, did you see that Twitter thread that Omegon started? It was one day last week, I think, about chocolate. What was your favorite chocolate? And he had
I saw
that.
On it. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
and he was dissing American chocolate, something fierce like that plastic chocolate. Well, it's not plastic; it's wax. Yes, we put wax in our chocolate so that it lasts longer. But while you're over there deciding which is the best and the most primo, I'll be over here eating all that American chocolate you don't want. I was just teasing him.
Mm. Well, we've come to that part where we usually take questions, unless you have a story.
Yeah.
You have a story?
Let me think. Well, I guess I do. The last time I told you to remember what we're talking about so I can tell my story, and then you couldn't remember, and at the end of the stream, just a couple of streams ago.
Yeah.
I think I remembered what story I had in mind that day.
Yeah.
And we had been talking about, how black people act and other races act like they're the only ones that ever get harassed by the police, Like it never happens to white people.
Mm-hmm.
Way back, I would have been about 17 at the time, so this would have been 1977. Yeah. So a long time ago in the old ancient days when we still rode dinosaurs to school. 1977. Anyway, there was a local little mom and pop store, which back in those days you still had a lot of, little cinder block buildings out there that just sold some of the necessities,
Mm-hmm.
and all the teenage kids would hang out front, smoke cigarettes, because they could buy soda pops and stuff and all that thing. Anyway, we had one about 4 or 5 blocks away from my house, and I would walk down there anytime I got some money or whatever. And it's also where I used to buy my cigarettes because they didn't card me in those days.
Mm-hmm.
Probably what I went down there to buy was some cigarettes. But as I'm walking back, I'm wanting to smoke a cigarette. Well, in my neighborhood, I was well enough known that I didn't want to smoke out in public because at that point, my parents didn't let me smoke. I was only 17. I didn't want somebody telling on me. Right. So I walked down the back alleys. In my neighborhood, they're normal size blocks. But in between each, where people's backyard on this side of the block met the people on the opposite sides of the backyard block, there's always an alley. So every block had an alley that ran through the middle of it. And I was walking down one of those alleys. All of a sudden, here comes a police officer. Comes whipping up, telling me to put my hands up, get over to the car and so forth. And he starts asking me all these questions and wants to see my hands. So I hold my hands out to him. He takes a look at my hands and then says, okay, off he goes. I got about another half a block and here come another cop. Same thing. Asked to see my hands. I'm like, geez, what's going on? Went about another half a block and this time 3 of them cornered me. Got me out on the back trunk, put me on it, searched me, and they wanted to see my hands. So what the heck? Come find out, I finally asked the last cop, because most of the cops did know me. Yes, I had a reputation, folks. But come to find out, the local bank had been robbed by somebody that matched my description.
Oh, I see.
And they were asking to see my hands because they had put a dye pack.
I love the dye pack.
Into the bag of money. And so that's why I kept getting stopped. But I was like, I would thought you guys could like maybe communicate and say, okay, we've already checked this guy. We don't need to check him again. Maybe. Well, they didn't like that, but nothing they could do about it. But yeah. That's the way it used to be for me when I was young. So, yeah, white people get harassed too.
There you go. They absolutely do. That's a good story. But guys, we have 7 minutes left. Let's take some questions from the chat. And if you haven't already, make sure you drop a like on the live stream. I'm sure Mr. Wing would really appreciate it.
Yeah. Midnight in Exile, what bank robber escapes on foot. In my neighborhood, that's not unusual. Because in those days, it was really unusual to see a cop in my neighborhood. Even they didn't come here. Honest to God. When I was a kid, it was really bad. Now it's just a bunch of wannabes that just wish they were as tough as we were. But yeah, it was very rare to see a police officer. And if you did, it was usually a sheriff. City cops never came in here. Never. What is your favorite food from your childhood? Cynical Lindsay. Oh my gosh. Peach cobbler. And it still is.
Oh,
how about you guys?
I do. I like an apple crumble with custard.
Dax?
I'm trying to think of my favorite food when I was a kid. It's simple. It was my dad's grilled cheese.
There you go. That was the only thing that my dad could cook.
Oh, my dad could cook, but grilled cheese when I was a kid.
My mom.
2 minutes. There it is.
My mom had a lot of physical problems as we were young and growing up, so she spent time in and out of the hospital. And we could always tell when mom was in the hospital when we had grilled cheese for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because that's all dad knew how to make. What's your favorite soda? RJ Bands, but I'm a redneck. Mountain Dew, of course.
Right, Pepsi.
Bear?
What was the question? Sorry.
What's your favorite soda?
Oh, we're certainly not Monster anymore. I've quit that. Ooh, I drink a lot of Fanta these days, so probably Fanta.
Huh?
Chris Chan, calm down.
Kyler Bloodwing grew up in the white trash hood. You don't even know, dude. You don't even know. I guarantee you at this moment, in fact, I'm looking out in between the curtain on my front window at the front of my house at the neighbor catacornered from me, and I'm looking directly at a rebel flag. So, yeah. Favorite genre of music, Bodacious T. Well, I've mentioned it before, but I'm a headbanger. Classic rock, of course, but I like a lot of different music. I like bluegrass. I like really love old time swing music. You know, like out of the '40s. I like classical. Uh, I like a lot of things. About the only thing I can't listen to is hip hop, and I've tried, but it honestly
Terrible.
physically gives me a headache. I can't. No, can't do it.
I give everything a fair shot, but I could never get behind hip hop.
Yeah, I've tried. I've tried to like it. Closest I've come to being able to get into hip hop was MC Hammer, and that was hip hop light.
Stop. Pajama time.
That's right. Let's see. Worst movie with Brie Larson in it. I don't know. I don't get to see modern movies enough to even know which ones Brie Larson has been in. The only one I know for sure was Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I've not really seen many films that she's been in, and I've not even seen the Captain Marvel film, so I couldn't answer really. Oh, you have a super chat.
Thank you, Willingham. You should listen to Hick Hop like Upchurch. Okay, didn't know that was a thing. Okay. Jen says, Blood Bear Dax, if you were to design an alcoholic shot based off your channel name, what kind of booze would be in it? Well, with the name of Redneck Radio, it would have to be moonshine, right?
Oh God, what would mine be?
Huh. All right, Bear. I don't know.
It'd have to be fruity because geeks aren't big in the super liquors.
Has to be fruity.
It has to be. I'm thinking something like a Squeeze It taste. You remember Squeeze It's?
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking something like that. That would probably be a vodka base.
Is that for your channel?
Yeah.
I don't know what I would say for mine, to be honest with you.
It would have to be rum, simply because of and Tobago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there'd have to be some rum in there, I guess. I don't know, maybe a rum and coke. There you go.
Ooh, Jen. She says, I picture yours, Dax, as vodka-soaked Skittles.
That's the second time somebody's mentioned a Skittles-based vodka drink today. Wasn't the first one your
interesting?
Everybody wants me to have vodka-based Skittles.
Cynical Lindsay says she saw Sabbath 6 years ago. I seen the original lineup before they broke up. How about that?
Aren't you high and mighty?
Yeah. But at that concert, they actually were blown off the stage by a little band that nobody around here had heard of yet called Van Halen.
Ha.
Any of you fans of The Simpsons? I was growing up. I've not really watched The Simpsons for quite some time, actually.
Yeah, when I was younger.
I never was. Never was. It never flipped my trigger. Of course, I remember I had seen The Simpsons when it actually started as just a little bit on, what is that?
Tracy Ullman show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Couldn't think of her name.
I'm older than I sound.
No, you're not. You're just aware of old stuff.
I'm an old soul.
Yeah. Yeah, Tracy Ullman. Yeah. Oh gosh, that is a blast from the past. Thoughts on Talladega turning 50? I mean, what can I have a thought? It's not surprising. I mean, NASCAR is getting pretty old. I mean, we trace our roots all the way back to those moonshine runners. You know, that's how it got started. People run and shine. Cynical. That would have been around technical ecstasy, probably. Would be my guess. It was, well, it might have been Never Say Die. It was right before Ozzy left the group. I mean, it wasn't too long after that he left.
How old am I? I am 33.
33. You're younger than my son. J-Kid's 34. And we are now actually a minute past that time. Man, this 2 hours just went way too fast. It just
it seemed like it.
By. Shot by. I don't know about y'all, but it just seemed like it to me. Just shot on by. But anyway, we have a format, and I do try to stay to it. 2 hours is the length. I feel like anything after that, we spend too much time listening to each other. Breathe. Which is not entertaining for anyone. But thank you, chat, for coming out and supporting me in that way. Thank you for those that have give donations. It will go to a good cause called Feeding My Belly. And thank you, Bear, for coming out. As always, anything you want to shill?
No, not really. I've not released anything in the last 24 hours or so. I mean, if you haven't watched my video where I spoke about getting into fights with people regarding, how you should run your channel and all that kind of stuff, if you haven't watched that, there's a link if you want to go give it a watch. It's an 18-minute video, I think.
Well, there you go. Bear's allowed to be lazy once in a while.
Yeah.
You give his ADD some rest,
Exactly.
Dax, thanks for popping in when you could, man. I miss you, dude. I do.
Be around in the daylight hours every once in a while.
Anything you want to shout out?
I wish I had Opinionated Scotsman's link ready to go, but suffice to say, if you guys know him, and you probably all do, just look him up. He does stuff, and he's awesome.
Yeah, I just linked it in the chat for Opinionated Scotsman, who's streaming right now.
Yeah, I was actually on one of his streams a little over a week ago. Anyway, thanks again to everybody. And let me get over here where I can actually end the stream. Here I am talking away. But yeah, this has been Redneck Radio. You've all been a bunch of morons. See, I'm stealing your catchphrase, Bear, with my own twist. That's what it is. And as always, get out of my yard.